Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed musical artist and guitarist and my friend, SEAN HARKNESS. For more on Sean, you could read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the incredible talent of SEAN HARKNESS. Well, hello, Sean. How are you?
I'm good, Will. So good to see you.
It is so good to see you, and the audience may not know, but we've known there we go, coffee kicking in. We've known one another for at least more than a decade. We've worked together when I was a performer, and you are one of the best musical artists and guitarists in the business, so much so that, I don't know, your friend John Bon Jovi once said, Sean is a great friend, but an even better guitarist. Sean, you are such an incredible light in this industry. Even before we worked together, I've known of you. Anyone that has ever been blessed to share a stage or a recording studio with you, they walk away a better person. Where does that light come from?
Wow, what a great question, and thank you for going straight to that, because that's what it's all about. Where does it come from? I don't know. I couldn't pretend to be able to answer that, but
you make a choice, John. You know, we're in a business that can be very dark and negative with lots of no's, but I'll never forget you being part of my brother and my one of our, I think it was the last CD we put together, and just seeing in the recording studio. I think it had been a few years, and I just gave you the biggest hug. You're a light, in addition to obviously being a genius musician.
Well, thank you, Will. And I'm always thankful for the opportunity to be kind of who I am, as hallmark as that may sound. You know, when I was first moving to New York City, people say, oh, isn't it so competitive or competitive? I don't see it that way, because I'm not really interested in jobs that any guitar player could get. If you were to come to me and say, hey, I need a guitar player for my upcoming record, let me go get my book. I'll help you find somebody. You know, but when somebody comes to me and says, Sean, we need you, are you available? I'll make myself available.
See, Sean, this is what I love about you. There's no ego. It could be John Bon Jovi, it could be Will and Anthony, it could be Joe Schmo, who's a friend of a friend. You show up and you give that opening night performance at Carnegie Hall, no matter where you're at.
Yeah. Well, you can't do it halfway, you know.
Listen,
And
Sean.
one of the difficult things I have sometimes is people say, it's like the easiest question, you know, you're in an airport or a hotel lobby, you got a guitar in your bag. Oh, you play guitar. What kind of music do you play? 43 years I've been doing this and I still can't answer that question. I don't know. I play
Well, you're a
everything.
Renaissance man, Sean. I think what you do is you play for what the assignment is, but your craft and your constant working at it, and you constantly being a man who is curious and a student of your craft is something that I have observed and probably never fully articulated to you before till now.
It's nice to hear. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, Sean, it goes without saying that the audience was probably just as moved as I was in that trio arrangement you did of Old Lang Syne. There's something about that song now more than ever as we get out of slowly but surely this 18-month trauma moment of dis-ease that I think people's mindsets are toward a new year and not necessarily December 31st, but a new dawn. What was the impetus of you wanting to create and then also film yourself doing that beautiful moving trio arrangement?
Well, there were a few things, a few moving parts going on all at the same time. My wife is Japanese, and that melody of from Old Lang Syne gets used in a lot of other places aside from just New Year's Eve. So it's kind of a collective consciousness thing going on there. And she would love whenever I would play it. It gets used for graduations and weddings and all kinds of things, promotions. And there was also one of my clients slash friends, Craig Taubman, out in Los Angeles. He has a multi-faith house of worship going on out there. And he asked if I would create something for their services for the new year. And so both of those things go into, okay, now I get to do it the way I want to do it. And what I was really feeling there, and that's what you're getting when you hear that, that's just, you know, kind of looking in deep and doing some soul searching. And that's what it just felt like this new year, you know, and where there's cautious optimism, you know, but some optimism, and also just obviously the grief and difficulty from where we have been and uncertainty of where we are going. Yeah, a lot went into making that arrangement. Thank you for picking that one out of the pile.
Please, I mean, look there's a timely and timeless quality to the song, as we know.
Oh.
But I think
I'm sorry to interrupt you. There was one other element to that.
Go.
Is I was tasked, this is fun, this is interesting. Lafroig Scotch whiskey, my absolute favorite liquid on the planet. I'm friends with the brand ambassador for Lafroig. He works for Beam Suntory Global.
Of course you are.
And they would do a thing called a Burns night. And they asked me if I could create arrangements for some Burns music, and it was also part of that. So sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
Never apologize, Sean. Please. You well, what I was saying is off of what you were talking about. There's a timeless and timely quality not only to that song, but I think to specifically what you do as a guitarist. But what you do so beautifully is that you're a chameleon. I've seen you play so many shows, especially here in New York, all genres. I'm curious where that curiosity comes from, that sense of wonder as little Sean that never went away.
Oh, it's loud and clear all day, every day. Yeah. Well, when I got my first guitar at 11 years old, and I didn't even know how to hold the thing. I was just laying flat on my lap. The teacher had to keep kind of propping it up. But within 6 months, I had to get an electric guitar because we had a weekly gig. 2 other 11-year-olds. We were all in the same sixth grade homeroom, you know. But I was drawn to the guitar. I'd been asking for it for a couple of years. And they thought, oh, he wanted a mini bike. He wants to play hockey. He wants to do this. He wants a guitar now, you know. No. I really want to play guitar. And it was about the instrument itself. It had been presented to me. I had been exposed to it through a few different things. Glenn Campbell on TV, a friend of ours who played after dinner one night. I was just always mesmerized by this thing. And it was the guitar itself that I was drawn to as a being. Just, you know, I wasn't in my teens yet chasing girls or anything. I wasn't, I didn't want the attention of being a rock star. In fact, performing was always really difficult for me. It's something I had to kind of try on and learn how to wear. Because it's like, no, I just want to play this guitar over here, you know, leave me alone. It was a sacred space for me. Still is. In fact, to maintain that sacred space within the context of a career and performing and all that is a little bit of a juggling act, but you know, I manage. And yeah, that the same enthusiasm and curiosity and love of the instrument is just as present today as when I was 9 and started asking. Guaranteed.
It's evident, my friend. And you know, my final question for you before I let you go, I want to remind everyone, for more on the incredible Sean Harkness, you can read more about him right below this video. Sean, this has obviously been a tough time for all humans, but especially artists these past 18 months. A lot of lost work, a lot of dis-ease, dare I say, a lot of uncertainty. But again, if there's any light in this business that I've ever met, it's you. And I'm curious what you're most optimistic about moving forward as things start to slowly but surely open up.
Well, that's a good, what am I optimistic about? I think something that happened as a result of this is more and more in the collective understanding of what music really means in people's lives. People started to take it just a little, that much more seriously. So when they see a real live musician playing in a room somewhere, it's like, oh, there's just that extra level of appreciation, you know. So I hope that continues and nurtures. We have all learned how to pivot. I say we all, a lot of us, and figure out how to do things online, whether technically and otherwise, just how to be present online. And I think we'll carry that with us. We'll continue that in addition to hopefully going back to full swing what we used to be doing. And there's a sense of community. I was able to continue to make a living in a very different way. Using this little pinhole camera here as an audience is kind of weird. I'd rather be in the room breathing the same air with everybody. And that's exactly what we're not allowed to do, you know, breathe the same air. But, you know, people will continue to work together and value what one another does, whether you're an audience or a performer. I think the machine's going to keep rolling.
I agree with you too on this new sense of gratitude. And I think this new sense of gratitude toward the connection, the live connection that we as artists get to display in sharing our gifts. And Sean Harkness, when I got your email, and you know, once in a while I will get emails from people that I've worked with and know, but when I got your email and knew that we would be speaking, it you know, it brings back a sense of nostalgia because of, you know, all the times that I've seen you live and the few times that we've gotten to work together. But it also gave me a sense of optimism about all of the people now who may not know you, get a little eavesdrop in on who you are beyond what they can read on your amazing bio on your website.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and hi, nice to meet you, new fans, I hope. And I hope we get to share a stage and or a studio somewhere again soon.
Absolutely, Sean. God bless you, and thank you so much for your time today.